Hello, Ryan here, aka Steve Messiah, and welcome. Today we are going to take a look at the stainless steel Sensei wireless mouse, which is practically the ordinary Sensei, but without the wire. So let's take a look in the box.
In the box.
So when you get into the box, you have the usual really good quality box with the black envelope, which has the SteelSeries logo on. This contains things like stickers, and your instructions, like you can expect. Within the box itself, you have the mouse with the USB cable, a nice braided USB cable as well. That is the mouse. Let's take a look at the bottom, because what makes this quite special is it has this metal docking base or recharging base, which is very, very nice, a lovely touch. Let's get on with it.
The look.
So the design of the mouse is pretty snazzy compared especially to the original Sensei with the wired version, which had its glossy, horrible look that it had before. So it's definitely a step in the right direction. You've got two lighting elements on the mouse. You've got the logo and the scroll wheel, plus the third on the base itself. All of which is fully customizable. You can have it breathing, you can have it displaying, as I've got now, the battery life. So you've got green for obviously good battery, then I think it goes yellow, then red for when it's running low. Or you can have it shifting colour or breathing. So plenty of options there. So the button setup you have the usual right, left mouse click. You have the scroll wheel in the middle, which is rubberized and very nice feel. It's very strong. Should work. It's not working. But anyway, got a good clicking motion to it, so it feels very good quality. It's also got the CPI selector or toggle switch, which you can switch between the two CPI selectors you have, which is useful, I suppose, if you're using it to snipe or for quick on-the-fly movements, depending on what game you're playing. And then either side, you have the two buttons, Ambidextrous Mouse as well, so it doesn't matter if you're a crazy southpaw or you're right-handed. They are both there, very, very useful, and they're not in the way either, so you're not constantly catching them with your finger, so very nice.
Features.
So onto the features. The first feature being that it's a wireless mouse. Now obviously a lot of people avoid wireless mouse for loss of connectivity and so forth, and so far during gameplay I've never lost connectivity. It's always been solid, perfect gaming, but when doing non-important things like browsing the internet or just day-to-day general stuff, it has either lost connectivity or lagged a few times, which is frustrating, especially if you're using things like Audacity, where you've got to be quite precise with your chopping. So other than that, it's not a killer problem, but it's worth pointing out and understanding. The buttons along the side are out of the way enough so that you don't catch them, but I do struggle to reach them. Maybe it's because I haven't used that style of mouse before. I've only used the right and left click for mice before, so that could play a part in it. Time is a teacher, so we'll see how I get on with it. And so again, with all SteelSeries products, customization is a big, big part, and you get the SteelSeries Engine 3, which is absolutely wonderful and really works well. All the buttons are remappable and allow for individual commands or macros, including delays. The sensitivity selector allows you to choose from anything from for about 50 CPI to 16,400 CPI, which is a little overkill, as, to be honest, I think I've heard that only 2,000 to 3,000 is pretty much the highest you should ever need. So it's quite a learning curve, especially coming from a standard Alienware mouse, which I think generally ran at 1200, so it does take time to get used to. Other additional features, which I generally leave alone due to ignorance more than, anything else, it's got different modes like power saving, high performance, or balanced. Has a sleep timer. There's also an acceleration and de-acceleration feature, a lift distance feature, angle snapping to correct human error, it says, and that'll just basically straighten your lines to assist with sort of sniping and so forth, which again, I've never used, but it does sound interesting. There's also a polling rate, which affects how often your mouse communicates with your PC, and again, I just whack it up to the full. I never really generally do anything else with them. So the other features that it includes is things like the 1 millisecond response, which is always useful. It says it has 20 hours of battery life, which that is only if you have it in the power saving mode all the time. I generally have it in gaming mode because I just can't be bothered switching it back and forth. It's got 30 million clicks, which I'm still working on them. The other thing that I really like with, again, all SteelSeries products is it has the game sense, which it detects what game you are playing at what time. So when you launch a game, it'll automatically know which game it is, and it will just adjust the settings to what profile you've set it to. Now, for a mouse, I don't generally do much with it. Headsets are different because they're different sounds for different games, but mice, again, I generally leave that alone. The other good feature, which is generally sort of like Marmite, you either like it or you hate it, is the cloud sync. This allows you to sync up all your profiles to every device whenever you sign in, which, again, You can choose to opt out of it. You don't have to use it, which is a good choice. Now, something, again, worth noting is that it uses a laser sensor, which, compared to the more modern optical sensors, which are more commonly used with mice these days, it's supposed to be a selling point. And there is known issues with laser sensors that it creates acceleration, which is not a good thing. I haven't noticed too much acceleration, but it was kind of prominent at first. Maybe that was because I was getting used to the higher CPI.
They're good.
So they're good. The good is it's a wireless mouse which works well as a wireless mouse. There is no issues while gaming. The lag and the cutting out only happens very occasionally, or very rarely should I say, when I'm just browsing the internet. So that's not an issue. The customization is excellent, as always, with every SteelSeries product. The engine that it uses is brilliant. I have no faults with the engine at all. So much customization if you want to use it. The lighting, again, is something that you can play around with. I just generally have it on battery life because I need to know. And also, it's very comfortable. There's no complaints with how comfortable it is. So there.
The bad.
So the bad is, again, generally the wireless. It's good and it's bad because while browsing the internet, it does go off. Again, not the end of the world. It doesn't kill it for you. It's when it's gaming that it's important, really. But it's worth pointing out. The other thing is that it's a laser, not optical, which I suppose it depends on what you're used to as well. If you're using a laser mouse already, then it doesn't make any difference whatsoever. But thirdly, the buttons on the side. Now, this is, again, something that I think is more my problem that I'm still not used to. When using this, I think I only use that button on the right-hand side for my Skyrim shouts. Everything else, every other game, I've not used them because I feel like it's more of a struggle to get to them. And like things like reload, I'm so used to using the R button, or, you know, when it comes to trying to reload with it, I have to move my hand a little, which slightly moves the aim. And if I'm aiming down sights, just waiting to see if someone pops out and I want to reload, I don't want that delay of moving my sight to the side. It's a very niggly thing, but to be honest, that's all I have to complain about this mouse. There is nothing really too wrong with it, so there you go.
Conclusion.
So the conclusion, if you're looking for a gaming mouse, a good competitive gaming mouse at that, then it's definitely worth getting. It won't let you down. There is a price tag with it, so bear that in mind. The customizability of it is excellent, and as said in the good, so much choice. So if you're wanting something that is personal to you, that you want to use, then again, you will not be let down with this. But with that said, if you are just a weekend warrior and you're just wanting something to play with that you don't often get a chance to game, then I wouldn't really recommend spending, unless you can afford it, obviously. If you're not going to starve your family, then, you know, plumping 179 euros for it is quite a steep amount if you're, like I say, just a weekend warrior. You're not really playing every day. If you're a big gamer, then yes, it's worth getting. If not, then it's up to you. If you can afford it, get it. If you can't, don't. So anyway, that was the review of the SteelSeries Wireless Sensei gaming mouse. Please tell me your thoughts. Do you own one, or do you have something that you think is better? Please put it in the comments. Let's get the discussions going. Anyway, thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, and I shall see you next time. Bye.